Welcome listeners. I have with me Susan Walker, a senior communication strategist from London. Recently, she has authored and published a book on employee engagement and communication research. Welcome Susan for Pod Universal Show.
Thank you very much.
I read your book on employee engagement and communication research, authored by you recently. It's a wonderful theme relevant for the modern days. Congratulations for bringing out a good book like this.
Thank you very much. I think my inspiration was because I had looked around in the market and there were books about research, there were books about engagement and also about communication, but there was really no book that tied all three of them together and looked at employee research from that point of view. So really that's what stimulated me to write the book.
So that prompted you to write the book on this. So I want to go a little deep into your book. For a layman, how will you explain employee engagement?
Well, there are all sorts of definitions of employee engagement, and I think that a lot of it is down to an employee who is interested in their company, who understands its purpose, who feels part of it. And I think that feeling that you're with the organisation and want to help it is really what says when employees are engaged in their organisation.
Why a communication research is needed in a company? What is the present trend? Many of the companies for ISO purposes conduct employee satisfaction survey periodically and submit to their ISO auditors. Can it be termed as communication research, which you mentioned in your book?
Yes, I think so. It is satisfaction, which is really, I suppose, another word for engagement, and particularly if there are some communication questions in it as well. Yes, I think it could be considered as engagement and communication research, certainly.
Broadly, what are the areas that you have covered in your book?
Well, I saw it in three main areas, which is first of all measurement, and that really covered the basic tools such as objective questionnaire design, statistical reliability, sampling. Then the second section was more about strategy, which is engaging senior management, looking at the benefits of the research, linking it with the business. And then the third section was about action planning, which is defining what needs to be done based on the survey results. And also, I had a number of case studies and also interviews with leading communication and engagement professionals around the world, which I thought was an important part of the book, to have that global perspective.
You are closely associated with the IABC, and you are now operating in European market, and you have a very good knowledge about the professionals across the world, Asia, Europe and America. So how do you see the trend of communication research world over?
It was interesting talking to people from all over the world, Brazil, Russia, China and of course India. And although circumstances and cultures vary, it seems that many of the challenges that we face are the same, and one of the prime ones being engaging senior management and convincing senior management that it's worthwhile measuring their employees' engagement and communication, and also the one about making sure that action happens as a result. So although we may all be in slightly different places, we all seem to share the same challenges.
Somewhere in your book you have mentioned about Arthashastra. How Arthashastra has impressed you?
Well, what impressed me about it was written many thousands of years ago, and we often think that something that was written a long time ago has nothing to teach us. In fact, it's said to be the very first management book that was ever written. But what impressed me was it didn't just look at aspects like the military aspects then and the economy, but it also looked at the welfare. And a lot of the advice, which was then said to be for the king, could be said nowadays to be the CEO of the organisation. They are, if you like, the king of the organisation, And I felt a lot of what was written in there is just as applicable today as it was then.
Thank you, Susan, for sharing your views with Pod Universal Show.
Well, thank you very much. I found this interesting.